It's also, of course, the elderly who can be vulnerable too during this difficult weather. The cost of heating and getting out becomes an issue. With me now is Adam Stahura from Age Scotland. Thanks so much for coming in.
Hi.
It can be really tough, particularly for the elderly when the weather's like this.
Well, it can, and I think part of this is because so many struggle to keep their homes warm. About half of pensioners today will be living in fuel poverty, and our research showed when going into this winter, before it was as cold as this, that more than a quarter really didn't think they'd be able to keep their homes warm enough to stay well. And the longer it goes on, the longer people stay in really kind of cold conditions, and it's terrible for their health. But beyond that, they're sort of trapped in their homes too, because the paths aren't clear, the roads are dangerous and the pavements are really slippy. So folks might not have anyone around them to kind of help them get the supplies they need or get out and about to kind of just take part in life.
The pavements are slippy for everyone, aren't they? And then particularly I can imagine if you're older and you're maybe not that steady on your feet anyway, it's an extra thing. So that person then who's at home in a cold house, what can other people do to help?
Well, one of the great things about this, if you will, of this kind of current weather crisis is so many people are getting together to check in on their neighbours and do the kind of community spirit part. So what we'd recommend is actually chap on the door of your older neighbour. They might be older, they might be disabled, they might live on their own or a bit infirm or frail. It's just check in on them. You'll get a good sense and measure whether their sort of home is warm enough, but actually think about clearing their path as well. The bit about kind of getting out of their home is so important, but also not feeling that you're trapped in your own home. So if you're out clearing your own drive or gritting your own path, popping around and doing it for your neighbour as well can make the world of difference. And it also helps them know that somebody else is out there thinking of them and cares about them.
In the kind of society that we live in now, as you say, it sometimes tends to be different when something like this happens, but we do tend to keep ourselves to ourselves. And quite a lot of people who have managed to look after themselves all their lives, maybe feeling a little bit proud and might not be the people that make that suggestion of help or ask for help. How can people tackle that? Just go and chap on a door anyway?
Well, a lot of older people don't want to be a burden. We know this from lots of research, lots of discussions, the pride that they have in themselves. But so many older people are lonely. They live on their own. Hundreds of thousands of pensioners live on their own, and there's at least one older person on every street in Scotland who's chronically lonely. They might not have anyone else to go and speak to. So that chap on the door, that phone call you might make to them really opens up their world. So it's not going around and saying, yep, you must need my help, but just making the offer, saying, look, I've been clearing my own drive, would you mind if I do your path? I'm here and I can do it, or I'm heading down the shops in the car, can I get you anything? And just trying to make the offer as simple as possible, almost too hard to refuse, because pride could be hurt if somebody thinks, well, do you think I need help? Actually, they might, but they just don't want to admit it.
Adam, thanks so much for coming on. Adam Stahura there from Age Scotland. Thanks a million for that.